phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, that often leads to victory.
Blunt's to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, they say the kickoff can be one of the most exciting plays in football, and proves so there. 104 yards on the return. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 7, Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And it's complete to Jeffrey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You got with you by yourself?
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, so they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And a kick by Elliott is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. The last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear.
That is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Now Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one rips, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
Yeah, man, we got to track it, though, man. DJ Hood, man.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Breeze. Flushed out right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there on the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Escaping the pressure right. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Ready, 95-56, 95-56.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Completes this one to Meredith. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
So Breeze is going to stay out there, and they're going to go for this on 4th down. Here's Breeze to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Wentz. And he finds Howard complete. And shoves him off at the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That's Aguilar with it on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Throwing now is Wentz. Got him in. Open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. So he's hit Peter twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
You said that before?
No.
Well, he's loose again.
100 yards,
He's at the 40.
100.
10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Officially, that goes down as a kick return of 170 yards. As his guys continue to pour it on.
Kamara is a fucking dog.
Again, open partner, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this.
What can they do to change the drop a bomb on a bitch? That bitch so fucked up to where like if you watch the news, you know what I'm saying? It's little kids and miniature caskets and shit nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas gonna walk up and put 5 niggas and hitting the crowd and shit, hit babies and shit and driving by, you know, and doing the whole shit, you know. We was raised different. Old law, you walk up and get your man. These dudes hitting babies and shit. I don't respect it. You know, Baton Rouge fucked up. I mean, like I said, dude just hitting them talking about moving them, like, for what? Like, what you want to die? Like, this shit, I don't. Like, he
wouldn't have got me.
Like, I don't know.
That was his last chance right there.
So there ain't no opportunity.
But I got
you
that
know
block.
Right.
That block.
Can't get no good job there. They don't got no skyscrapers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to big cities, see all that shit. You don't see all that shit in Baton Rouge. Ain't nothing death out there. You know, I think that bitch got a voodoo on her. You know? Hey, yeah. So you think that?
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, how about that play? Just about as far as you can take it. 107 yards.
So look, growing up in that South, I seen a lot of extravagant, extra, felony activity. You hear me? Stuff that get you like life in jail. So one that I can speak on.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
I mean, it does have
this fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 45-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? We'll see what they decide to do.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
We decided we're going to take
on 1st and 10, it's Sanders. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Wentz going to throw. And that is incomplete.
We was finna take behind some rim. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because like him, it's going to haunt my dreams too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there.
Happy, joy. You know what I'm saying? Comedy.
Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Flush to his right. Yeah, he's going to keep it here.
I think we need a chance to just sit out and smile and live.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. We know he's got the arm, but watch out for those wheels.
Kind of harkens back to guys they used to call the scrambler and the dodger. This guy can make it work with his legs.
Field opened up. He took advantage.
And things spread out in one happy fashion, but he go to keep it. It takes people like us, you hear me, to start having fun. Hey, y'all chill out. We go barbecue today. Hey, y'all chill out. Ain't no, y'all chill out. Hey, look. All right, y'all go play basketball. I'm going to buy y'all brand new basketball. I said, go play basketball, man. I don't want to hear no noise in the hood no more. You know, that's what it's going to take for the big dogs to regulate the hood. You hear me? Because, you know, it take a man to stand over them kids. And that what it take, a man to stand over them kids and say, man, look here, man. Look. Because the kids think they got this big old...
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees turning back the clock. 5 touchdown passes for him on the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I be moving my product. You hear me making my product, manufacturing my product. When I say product,
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Guess what I did? I took what I got.
This will be taken in after 1.
The raw, original recipe product.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Motivation, man. So basically just taking what I got.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They've got to dig down deep. And they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room that they have, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
With countless violent crimes and over 100 homes.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. and good tackling could lead to no yards gained.
Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And nobody in the stadium feels better than he does right now. Just a slew of touchdown passes. He's been spectacular.
And you and I both know this is a team game, one of the best team games that's out there. But right now, I've forgotten what this...
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 47 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Wants to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Touchdown.
It's A.J. Klein, the linebacker. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown.
He don't have to. If he did that, he shook the bitch. He did that, he shook. Any more? You did that, you shook. Any more? So this shake. The bitch is wrong, my nigga. Them bitches ain't doing that. That's how I'm telling you how I shot the bitch in the way. Just like that. Ain't tripping. Running good. That shit gonna come back on you. What else? I got you. That shit gonna come back. I already know it. Nice.
Lutz will look to add the extra point.
Yeah, man, the game, shake the roll, no catch.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
That's just how you want to do it around there.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
This is what we do around here. We just have fun. You heard me? You will see no guns out here. None of that. We don't need that shit. We protected by God and respect. You heard me? Now go in any block in Baton Rouge and see where our shit is deep with no guns. You ain't gonna find that shit.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Eagles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them there.
I feel like,
it's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
If you can catch them churn while they're young, they're interested.
From the gun, it's Wentz.
You know what I'm saying?
And that will be incomplete.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be sports and learning, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right? That's got to be complete.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback. We talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though?
Absolutely. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 69 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
You know what I'm saying? And all the niggas that's getting money, if niggas want to beef and be with the bullshit, y'all go over there with that shit, man. We get money over here. You heard me? Have an opportunity, man. Let them live their life. A lot of my partners, man, they died before the age of shit. Before the age of 20, man. I lost a lot of niggas in my teenage years, man. Because we were just thugs.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us just living their fucking life. I lost a lot of them.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
The laws benefit the criminals? You can say that.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. When you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now a third down throw, and it misses the target, incomplete.
So if you get 5, 10 years. You got to do
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Sherrills to return it. They can't tackle him. And still fighting. That looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
You know what I'm saying? And all this is just to do the build a new prison for them. And the new prison, we don't know what's coming because in the old prison, it was the retarded. You know what I'm saying?
Now onto the field comes New Orleans. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player or broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No, I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams. Their second meeting of the season. The Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And they cracking down more on the gun law. Like,
one receiver left, 2 to the right. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. If someone does it to them, you don't hear people protest out of it. That's just who they are.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they work this out past the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
He's YN.
Defensively went with a crossing.
You YN.
It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lift their chops in order to get the big hit or play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. That's good for 28 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Now a carry for Sanders. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to put those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And they think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Bob goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
They ain't really got a lot of opportunities, so that leads people to do other shit. Down here with jobs, housing, and just all type of stuff that what people grew up in, people violence, shit just be all fucked up. So
into the red zone, Wentz.
This is caught.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Well, a high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
But ain't nothing down here. Like, I'm keeping it real. Ain't nothing down here. Shit, that's like a habit when people be doing out here. That killing shit is so crazy, but that shit, man, that shit.
Elliott on for the extra point.
People grinding when they go up there. These people get into it, beat all that type of shit. There's all type of shit. It's so small, so remember.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run.
It's crazy, but I don't know, bro. They just all gotta say they didn't put no shit out of people do, bro. Like, cause everybody don't be want to live like that. They just ain't got no choice. Some people just out. They just out here. They get high. They out here. But they give people something else to do, like.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Just give people a break. Like, people just right now.
This is taken at the 3. And there he goes again. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's going.
Now, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Different artists and stuff like that, and motivate each other. But down here, pretty much, it's like if somebody got something better or more than me, I'm gonna do whatever I can do to push you off the top instead of dragging you or asking you, can you help me get to where you at? You feel me? I think we should all just really what we should do as a whole, just really just come together and
they were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And quite a bit of razzle-dazzle and electricity on that return. It goes for 97 yards.
Like, I literally almost got shot at my freshman year of high school at a football game. I had a best friend that got robbed and killed over a phone. I got a friend that did a shooting, killed a lot of kids. A lot of people I actually went to school with, either dead or in jail. And I just say that I was just raised better, that I didn't fall into the system. I feel like I came up. I just didn't do what everybody else did. I think it's a cycle that continues and it has to be broken. So, for someone that comes into Baton Rouge, I feel like you'll be good. Like, you know, when you watch the news and you hear about Baton Rouge, killing and stuff like that, you know, you'll be scared to come. But when you're actually down here, it really like, okay, this is a lot, okay. But it's just some places that you really should go.
So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And they'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
All right, let's just go walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis.
I mean, it's the family, so, I mean, you got, like I said, you got fame, money, all that, but more money, more fame, you know, more money, more heat, more money, more problems, all that. Get more money, more family, come around more, more life. But, I mean, better word is,
Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From midfield, here's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curls a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. He'll let this go for the end zone. And touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, 34 yards. And the Eagles able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah,
now he's supplying the guns, you know what I mean? They put them out on the street. You know what happened, Bobby? Back in the day, you put around gonna get rich. If they steady laying that poke in that wall. I got 3 convictions for the state, 1 for the state. And every time I had to go in and I swapped out with something. Would have paid lawyers. I quit buying them. I started being my own lawyer. I go in there and do that myself. Hey, give me 3 years for this here.
Jump right
You
here.
never swap me out. And they're taking my money.
That bit.
Hey, right now it's election time. They're going to swap you out, man. They say they put the guns and the money back on the street. Everything going back on the street for these. The bum and the lawyer and the man who
high school.
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs. I knew every note to their school's fight song.
That ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Elliott good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This will be taken in at the 1. A beautiful fake. And an alley to run. And he's loose again. He's at the 30, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, here in special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. Lutz to try to end the PAT. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
You didn't know what I was going to do.
So that one goes down as a 99-yard kick return for 6 from the 1-yard line all the way to the house on the other end.
We know not all paint is
I said, what up?
So to do it right, start with exceptional paint that's designed to last. Only Ace has this collection of premium.
What you think? You want to take something from it, nigga? Let me show you. I'm going to be
so
your worst nightmare.
Return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate
your worst
what they just
nightmare.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a throw-in first down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and it's 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Y'all don't fun them. You know what I'm saying? Elijah had $12,000 debt.
Wentz now to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Throwing his Wentz.
Come on, go that bit.
Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Sherrill's on the return. Bowls him over. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. breaking through, and he's got space. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, he flat out can't be stopped as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right.
I believe that the newer generation has no value for life.
17
Because I'm 44, and our parents were very hard and very strict when we got switches.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Yeah, he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's A.J. Klein, the linebacker. Into the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the ground, this is Kamara. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Breeze. Ginn has it complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 36 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Aguilar. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He sets to fire deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles are able to eat in just a bit to the sizable deficit. Elliott now to add the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer in the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Breeze now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. And first down, a 16-yard gain. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
she's singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So that drive, 4 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown.
We have 12 districts, but it's one city. And the goal of this one city is to become the most
after the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
all work together. Unification. We all work together. There's no limits on what we do.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, be honest, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
forward. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On 2nd and 10. Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz.
On the last interviews, I've seen a lot of the comments, a lot of people accident. Want to know.
Receiver complete. A gain there of 21 yards. Wentz now on first down. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys are saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So I tell you that shit ain't real with this shit, not knowing that this shit could go on process, you know.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Philly.
For me, I was just a non-violent person, you know, so that's what I was telling you. I shouldn't be in this, you know.
So when y'all got jammed up, was you by yourself? Or
Nah. Actually, I was with a dude that was working with me. And you know, I can call his name and put him on the blast and shit like this. Okay. But this is how the story went. We went to buy some marijuana. And so we went to buy the marijuana. The dude that we wanted to get it, but we didn't have it. So I went to him on the bar. And so happened, you know, we got it, we scored, and everything was going back in to work. And he had a car pull up behind us and a car pull on the right side and one pull up in the front of us. And I'm looking at my dude and like, man, we have to get rid of this shit, you know what I'm saying? And he started telling me to keep this bitch in the car. They're not gonna bleed nothing for it, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna bleed nothing for it. So, blase, long story short, this is what happened. The cops pulled us over, we pulled over, and I got the package in my hand, you know, and all of a sudden he was gone. So they took me to the detective place. And when I went to the detective place, they was running to me, talking about some way, somehow, he was using me to get to the, you know, to get to another man. So it's like he stopped me up really on some real shit.
Yeah.
So that's how I really got caught up in it. Yeah, and that's why I say I don't hang around dudes no more. They don't know how they cutthroat. That's why I say the snitches are still on the street.
So what was your first day like in Baton Rouge Parish Prison?
My first day? It was a day I wanted to end. I wanted to get over with, right then and there. You know, I was trying to tell y'all about the zoo. My first day going to collecting commissary. My first day collecting commissary. And what so happened was, you know, your zoos is like the hygiene, the soap, your candy, your popcorn, your lotion, you know, shit like that. So in the process of me learning about this shit, I got a whole bunch of people on the side of me helping me fill out my store sheet. Me not knowing that, I'm really filling out the store sheet for them. You know what I'm saying? I actually went to the moment when they called my name out and said, Stovehouse. So as I'm going to pick up my items and shit like that, I got everything was on the list, so I go back and stand, you know what I'm saying, get ready to put on my shit. And you know what I'm saying, here they go, they holler chow. So when they holler chow, you know, some people linger back, some people stay. Some people stay for all the wrong reasons, like to steal your shit. You know what I'm saying, like they stole my shit. You know what I'm saying, I had my stamps, my envelopes, my deodorant, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying, my girl just, you know, got money for me to do this shit. Yeah. And here it is, these motherfuckers sitting in the plot the whole fucking time on how to get my shit. And they got it, real shit. They got it. So,
when they took you zoo?
They didn't take it. Man, they clean house. And the crazy part about it, you gotta sit there in the cell, you know, on F-Wing, where the shit was happening. There's a bunch of cells, you know what I'm saying, separated. Got like my 6 of them in one thing. You know, on F-Wing, I'm sitting there looking at all 5 of the other motherfuckers just sitting there munching and eating all of my shit, you know. So, you know, like I say, I ain't about no drama, and I meant that shit. So I ain't about to fight a motherfucker, you know, with some fucking Zulu, but I do lose a lot of respect, and I did lost that shit, because this shit kept happening. You know what I'm saying? But that goes sad, you know, there ain't no security in this motherfucker to watch, you know. So all that shit came to play.
God damn it. What was the first fight you had in there?
My first fight I had, I really was on K2. And I was with St. Clair, I was with Tremaine Sept, I was with Super Cripple, Big Head, and a couple other dudes. And you see, the way they did shit, it was different. You know, they go into cells. There was too many cells. So if they have a record like that, Motherfucker come out there, no matter all the time, punch you out, no matter where you at. Motherfucker, you got to run that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got shoes, they got shoes for you. In other words, if you don't fight battlefield, that's on you. I procrastinate. You know what I'm saying? I need some shoes. It took me an hour and a half to put on some motherfucking shoes, but motherfuckers count on that shit. Real shit, man. So, as you know, my first fight was with a dude named Baby Chuck. And he was from, I forgot, it might have been Gardell or Alphabet. And they called it BC. And I had enough balls to point out. He pointed me out, I pointed him out, because the simple fact was, he was a little shorter than me. Yeah. You know? But I was paying attention, his arms were swollen and cut up and shit like this. And I wasn't paying attention. He looked like he wanted to win. You know, so as I go in and say, motherfucker don't give you a check. When I went in and said, motherfucker teed off on him. Teed off on him, real shit. And he teed off on me so much, I was running out there, but God and pushed me back in that bitch. Real shit, put me back in that motherfucker. And the fight go on as long as they say they gonna go. You gotta be the motherfucker to come in there and say, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they like to watch this shit so it don't never get to be enough, in other words. You know what I'm saying? It'll never get to be enough.
Yeah, they like to watch the
resign. Man, see, I came to them bitches was different. And they operated really, like a little buzz. You know what I'm saying? I remember my dog. One time he didn't have no cigarettes. See, that was really started a lot of bullshit. The parents had cigarettes at one time. So it took away from a lot of that stress shit to smoke. But see, when they took that bitch back, that's when shit got bad for them and me. Real shit. It got real bad for me. Yeah, and I remember the dog, one time he broke this fucking arm. Real shit just to go to Hurricane Home to get some fucking cigarettes in the cash. Real shit, it came back through too. Yeah, it came back through. But I ain't smoking no cigarettes. I watched them smoke. You know, real shit, I couldn't get into that shit. There was dogs over cigarettes. You know, there's pieces. You know, certain shit you just don't do it. I just didn't do it.
And what is Hurricane Long? I hear the rappers talking about that in the songs and all that kind of shit.
Hurricane Long was one of the best hospitals they ever had in New York.
That's a hospital?
Yeah, it's a hospital. It's a place that saves pretty much everybody, you know what I'm saying? But it's a place where they take their inmates, you take them inmates and go in. There wasn't no other hospital. We used to go to the spectator, you know, and you sit at the bottom. And on the bottom, they got guards in there with you, but they leave you out in there. So if you got an enemy in that bitch down there with you, it's getting up there. And when you come over at the hospital, so you ain't got no they can fix you up and repair you. Yeah.
So, okay. You see you had over 100 fights in there. You lost them all. Who the worst 3 ass whippings you got in there, besides the first one you said on one day?
The one that I whooped my ass, got my ass whooped so bad I had to call home.
Yeah. Besides that, who's the next 3 worst ones?
I said one of my worst ones was when I say I was in the Q building.
Okay.
And when I thought everything was good, everything was great, it was on lockdown already. You know, so the phones and everything was jammed up. But at the point of getting hit without knowing you getting hit, you know what I'm saying? When you're not looking at that shit, you're not expecting that shit. But I got my ass whooped so bad that time. My eyes were swollen. My lips was almost halfway crooked. You know, I can say I kind of bought it on myself because I should have never got those Zooms from them. You know what I'm saying? I should have never 2 for 1 and nigga knowing that my shit wasn't in my money. You know, anything that happened, the day in the mail was a normal procedure for that bitch.
Right.
But that was another one of them. And now I was in the cell with a motherfucker. And what happened was the dude was in there fighting another one of my partners in that bitch. So I'm laying in the top bunk bed and they started swinging and shit like that. So I decided to try to jump out the bed and try to get out there. So I was fighting for my life. Really didn't know I was fighting, you know what I'm saying? But the dude was really hitting on both places. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really had to do it, you know what I'm saying? Dude was hitting on both of them. So as I tried to get out the cell, motherfuckers started boxing me from the back. You know what I'm saying? Boxing me from the back. The average person would probably turn around and start that bottle. Nah, I'm going to the fucking gate and holler death. That's what the fuck I gotta do to get out here to save my life. So that was another one. But the third worst one was when I got a chance to get shit. and I didn't know I was being shipped out. You know, you don't get the obligation to say where you want to go and when you want to go, but when the prison full, they got to separate and get rid of some of these people. And just so happened, that's what they did. So they shipped me out to Rivers. So I went to Rivers. And we got through the process and everything, and all this shit came along, and they put me in a dorm. It was D-dorm. And the D-dorm had a lot of dudes from Baton Rouge in that bitch. And the whole thing was good. They never get to the light station. They don't know if it's like about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. They got a motherfucker named Bigfoot in that bitch, bro. And I didn't realize D-Don wasn't for me until I seen this motherfucker slap the fuck out of this dude. And when he slapped him, the dude split the whole 360. By that time, I was going to the guard key to give a request for him to get the fuck off the dog. You know what I'm saying? To get off that bitch. And that's how I met Mac.
Okay.
And that's how I come across her, Mac Miller.
So, yeah, Mac from New Living?
Yeah, Mac was Mac
okay.
Mac used to cut hair. And Rivers.
Okay.
And he used to be on the hall cut hair. So Mac told me one time to fill out a request for him as well, and he was going to give me four. So just so happened, he actually did that shit. But me not knowing that I was going to be actually said it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I slept on top of it, and he slept on the bottom. And Mac saved my life a couple times. And when I say this shit, being in Rivers, it ain't about taking ass, nothing like that. But motherfuckers see the opportunity, they gonna do this shit.
So, okay, that's what I was trying to get to. So, Mac saved you from what? Some guys trying to whip you?
What happened was, I just put all the shit out there, and a lot of shit that came with me, my hygiene stuff, that stayed at the parish. They didn't ship that shit with me. So, Mac never fill out the store. And then one day he went on the hall, he went on a work call, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I'm still in the dorm. I ain't never got to decide whether I'm going to roll through or whatever, because I was going to trust the dorm with him. So I didn't, you know. So when he left, there had a couple other dudes that was laid back that was on the crew.
Expectation.
And I had my stack bag held right there. And what happened was, they was taking my shit out. And other dudes was holding me to the back. Just holding me, you know what I'm saying? Holding me like this and just keeping me from going. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was or what happened, how the Mac came back in the dorm, you heard? And when he came back in the dorm, he gave me a name called Scrappy Doo. He said, you gotta learn how to fucking fight, Scrappy Doo. You gotta learn how to take care of yourself. But I don't know if you thought we were Scooby-Doo and Scrappy Doo, because this Scrappy didn't have no fights in it. You know what I'm saying? But he said, he got him in line, checked him for me. You know what I'm saying? And the way he checked them, it was simple. It's like somewhere I could have did this shit here. I could sit back up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it didn't work with me when I said this shit. But he helped me do this shit. He gave me a nickname and he called me Scrappy Doo. And I stayed with him for almost a year.
So what? And then I heard you say one time, like, some guys had you and then grabbed your leg or something, then Mac came right there and run me through that.
See, what happened was sleeping.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, something told me to wake up on it. I woke up, and niggas was grabbing me and pulling me.
Yeah.
They held me down tight. And I you know what I'm saying, I don't know what it was. I just think this shit was dream, but it's real. So I'm calling out for Mac name, you know what I'm saying? I don't see him going around the bed. But just so happened, he came and saved me. I actually thought niggas was gonna try to do something, but they really, in my mind, that's what. But they play the games.
Yeah.
And the penitentiary games they play, you never know what the outcome is.
Yeah, you don't know what they were.
So you don't know what the intention was, but I didn't know because I'm scared for my life. So I'm hollering out, Mac, you know, real shit. And he'll tell you this shit from this day, bro. He really got me through that year with him.
Yeah.
You know, because you know how I say when motherfuckers take you on their wing? You know what I mean? It's almost like you walk, you straight, don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
That shit lasts as long as I was there. But any other place I went, that shit was away. You know, it's like I started all over this.
Yeah. Damn. So Mac looked out for you.
Yeah. Looked out for me, kept my hair cut. You know, did what's up and shit like that. Trying to teach me how to go for sale. But every time he come up, fuck all that, Mac. Fuck all that. You didn't have that stuff, you know. And man, I was the best dude I met in that bitch, bro, you know. It really did get me through that shit, though. Really nice. I'd have cried to that dude, bro. Yeah. I'd have cried to him and tell him, man, I'm ready to go home, bro. I'm ready to go home, man. This shit gonna ever end. And he always said it's gonna come to the end, but when? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got called out for me. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, though.
So, bro, like, out of all these fights, like, what it was about? Like, it was gambling? You was getting
Nah, bro, nah.
Or the niggas was just fucking with you to be
at one point in time, it just they was fucking with it.
Just to be
fucking with it, bro. Just to be there. Like I said, when you're different and you're not from this bitch, you gotta understand what I'm saying. That shit like a bar for me. You know what I'm saying? You can talk how you want to talk, say how you want to talk. But I was different.
The end of my career. If I was anywhere else, if I was anywhere else, or anybody else, you could have ended my career.
You know what I'm saying? You
could be blackballed.
You could be running to the gate, hollering about death. They still hearing till people come. There's some of the bitches no bitches to me. Why you right there? But I've been there. That's why I tell her, bro. The hardest motherfucker to go walk in that bitch, you gotta get it up there.
You gotta get it up there.
You gotta get it up there. I ain't saying my hands ain't good, I'm just saying I ain't had no hands.
Now tell me about Red Call when he wanna dance with you.
Red Call is so fucked up, bro. I don't know whatever nigga invented that shit, he need to be knocked the fuck out. Real shit. Because Red Call will get you killed. And like I tell motherfuckers, Red Call is like, you got about, a lot of niggas on tier, 30, 40 motherfuckers on tier. And everybody might be in them orange, and them muscle shirts and shit like that. Let's go to the BBC zone. And it's the part you gotta pick out a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pick out you because in my mind, you're bigger than me.
Yeah.
But there ain't no winning in that bitch because you can point out to the little shortest motherfucker.
Yeah.
The bitch got hands. You real shit?
Yeah.
He got hands. And when the motherfucker said Red Call, that was my cue to try to go get on the gangster.
Yeah.
In other words, I had enough for that shit. That was my cue. So whenever I heard motherfuckers say Red Call, I'm finding a way to get out that bitch. Real shit. I see what's saying to motherfuckers nowadays that they always talk about they real shit. Back then they ain't had no, you know what I'm saying? It was the South, it was Easy Town, it was Park Town, anything had their own son of bitch. You know what I'm saying? If you went on that line and you wasn't on that, you about to get the fuck off and not next to mine and not there. See, now they asking which kind you want me on. So I guess they could be safe. They don't have a clue what the fuck a motherfucker really wants to. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't say I was on the burner station. I wasn't from the burner station. You know what I'm saying? They ain't having none. It's just new road. You know what I'm saying? Well, gas, no bachelor. Fuck no. They had to sell put us in one of those bitches. And whenever I said you find out, you better show get it up there with it in your mind, knowing that's where you from. Until a motherfucker find out that's where you where you from.
But you said you nigga like the dance, when they got a dance style when they fight with you?
See, bro, all I remember when I was coming up, I had this shit like this shit.
Yeah.
Now these motherfuckers, I can't even keep up with it like they doing a show. And boys who trying to do a cute something like that with the shit out you. But I couldn't get it. But when I see the motherfucker, I swear that motherfucker, no, everybody can't be Holyfield. Everybody move out the way. It's like they got a new dance or some shit. But you can hear them in the that's how you hear, bro. That's how you hear. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Say, bro, I used to be scared so bad to come back from third child because after third child, ain't no more coming out that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more really crossing over and letting that shit there. And with the third child, you can pray to see the next day. Or you can hope to see the next day. Or you can go to sleep and pray to wake up the next day. As long as you see it, but it wasn't always that point. Real shit, man. Man, I mean, you know, motherfuckers, no respect. No respect. And then when I say they ain't got no respect, you got motherfuckers in there rapping all night. You know what I'm saying? While you trying to rest, call you. I thought we was getting tired. You just act like that at home. You know, it's like they free. They rapping, freestyling, beating on drums. You know, it's shit like that. You know, but it's shit. If you ain't from that shit and you ain't used to that shit, it will drive you insane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'll make you never want to go to sleep. For the talking about all this stuff, but that shit, they come together. You know what I'm saying? They wrong, bro. It's rare, and I couldn't, for the love of God, never understand them motherfuckers. But that's different.
Yeah.
That's how they rock.
Damn, man. You ever got jumped like by more than one dude?
I ain't never say I got jumped. When I said niggas sat there after one nigga got through fighting, another nigga came and intervened, we started a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much all they rip called big figure like you ain't got.
After you finish fighting with one, another one.
If nigga feel like you ain't got enough, nigga get back on your ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I don't know what they was looking at when they look at me, because I always had enough. You know what I'm saying? I always had enough, bro. I always had enough. I always had enough, man. Man, the ass, like I said, bro, it ain't about the ass whoopers. It's about how they come at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers will be fake to me like they your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Sit there and you watch movies together.
Yeah.
You play dominoes together. You play chess and checkers together. And all this other shit. And then that's a half a split second later, motherfucker turning on you.
Hey.
Real shit. Man, Zeus, I could never for the love of God keep.
Hey.
You know, I ain't know what call. I would tell all that. I need nothing about all that. He just bought me these bitches last week. You know, that shit is crazy, but where did it go? But baby, I didn't eat. I got to share this shit. Share this shit to survive. You know, you do want to come home, right?
Take care of Corinne.
By any means necessary.
Kiss my motherfucker.
God damn, man.
By any means necessary. So visitation, like visitation. It's really about visitation.
Really, my
You know,
motherfucker.
it's the shit that they do, like I said. Motherfuckers get fresh arms and put them under their matches and make sure the bitches start stuff for visitation like you going somewhere. You ain't got 15 minutes to look for a motherfucking work. You know what I'm saying? My 15 minutes come so fast. You know, my girl come there, it's like, can you please stop? Can I get a room on that line? You know, fuck how you doing? I'm telling you how I'm doing. Can you help me get this black? You want to send me this here? I gotta pay these, you know what I'm saying? Late fees, I'm on late fees shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're late.
Yeah, I gotta get this shit out the way. You know how the kids is? Fuck the kids. I need you to understand. I'm in this bitch and you out there. You know what I'm saying? You still enjoying your motherfucking life. Can you help me some kind of way in this bitch to get out this? You know what I'm saying? So they say, time's up. Oh, hell, we done. Now you gotta go back there and stress and shit. But motherfucker get out fresh and clean. Ready to get a comb and a razor. Cut them bitches, you know what I'm saying? I paid for a couple of haircuts. Fuck, they put them bitches on there and still they come visit me, you know what I'm saying? But the shit, sometimes you can't, sometimes when I wanted to see them. Nah, man, because you already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I come home and my bitch was ski that way. That real shit. Man, look, you lose it all, bro. Don't they? You know, and bro, I was down to the bottom. I went to the bottom of it, bro. It's like, this shit was an ongoing process. My best day was when it said, pack your shit all the way home, all the way. That was my best day when it said all the way. You know, I knew it was coming, but it fucked with me in the process of getting to that point. You know how many years I stayed waiting on that? The time I waited, times I got stopped back in courts and shit like that. The times I had to go back in these cells and fight. But I used to watch them fight me. You know what I'm saying? I had to do this shit, bro. To survive.
Shit.
That was, man,
Fuck, I look like
bitch ass. I couldn't adopt that.
Yeah.
Man, I like to think